going to tell you everything you need to know about growing peonies in your yard. There are so many different varieties of peonies, and all of them are so beautiful. So today I want to share with you some tips and tricks for getting your peonies to grow and prosper in your yard so that you don't have to go spend a ton of money at the grocery store. If you want to plant some peonies in your yard, dig a hole a couple days in advance. Sort of plan it out. So maybe 2 days ahead of time, dig a hole like 1 to 2 inches deep, work in some compost and some high phosphorus fertilizer. Let that sit for 2 days. Peonies love the sun, so when you're planting these, make sure that you find a nice sunny spot, and then you can bring in your bulbs, plant them 1 to 2 inches deep, cover them up, let them sit all winter long, and then in the spring you'll see your plant come to life. If you plant them in the fall and then spring comes and they don't grow and you don't have any flowers, that's okay. You're likely probably not going to have flowers your first year. This plant here I think is 3 years old and it's growing and spreading and it's doing really well. I have the same variety planted behind me and I planted it last year and it didn't flower this year, but that's okay. I know that next year it'll probably come back stronger, so I'm not worried about it. If you have some mature peonies, say you're moving and you want to bring them with you to your new house or you want to move them to a new location, you can transplant peonies, but it's best to do this in the fall when they're dormant. And just make sure that you prepare your next planting spot ahead of time before you dig it up and try and move it. Now peonies will sort of weep and be sad for a couple years before they establish that new location, but it's okay. Give them that year or two and then they'll go back to how good they were before you transplanted them. So even though peonies' growing season is super short, they actually can be kept in your refrigerator for a month, maybe longer. Things that you want to keep in mind though with that, you want to keep them dry, lay them on their sides, and keep the temperature about 35 degrees. And then bring them out, and they have like just a little bit of color showing. They'll open up, that's when you can put them in water. But keep them dry in your fridge or else they'll freeze. You don't want to cut this back right away once it dies. Leave the stems, leave the foliage, let it sit all summer. It's going to be energy for next year's plant. Then come late October, that's when you can trim it back. You can trim it back to the ground and just discard, put it in the compost pile, wait until next spring, and that's when you're going to see your flowers come back.